Well, again, welcome everyone. It's great to be with you. I know I get the chance to, as best as I can, to reach out to as many of you and during the week, and we've got so many great things that are happening right now that unfortunately it's impossible to talk to each and every one of you as much as I really would like to. But certainly as the time goes by, we'll be able to get to know each other more and more. So we have these meetings once a month. We'll always record them. I know there's often a lot of people who aren't able to attend, whether it's work or school or another family commitment. So we'll always record these. Then typically either later that night or sometimes it takes the next day, depending on how long it converts. We'll get it posted for you so you can come back and listen. So let me go through a couple really quick announcements. And before I do that, though, let me first introduce myself. For those who are new to the team, my name is Dave Nabrotsky. My wife, Trish, and I are one of the executive national designers here at Mialisia. And everyone is, our team is Team Diamond, as most of you have figured out. We have partnered up with Ariane Morgan, who's with Team Magic. So some of you may be at times a little bit confused. It was a recent merge that we did a couple months back, and partnered up and knew that there was so many different things that we could help our individual teams with. So she is direct to corporate, as am I. So as we do some different trainings, both of us will do that. You'll often hear a lot from her on the training side and fashion events. So as she introduces herself, just want to make sure everyone has a clear understanding of kind of how that all works. So my wife and I live out in Nashville, Tennessee. We've got 7 children as far as I can remember. And we've been out here for about 8 or 9 years and absolutely love it. I won't go too much into my story tonight, but wanted to hear from some of you. So let's go ahead and do some quick announcements. Then we're going to do our designer spotlight, and then we'll hop into our training. All right, so our tonight's training, just to give you a quick recap, we're going to kind of do 3 different areas, and they'll both be 5 to 7 minutes each. So we'll definitely be able to finish up within the hour. Some wonderful training by Louise Adrian. Many of you have been listening to the Power Hours and some of the calls that Team Magic has done, and Louise is just blowing things up. She's having great success. Her and her team are doing just a fantastic job up in Canada, and she's been in this industry for, I believe it's 22 years. Incredible. And she's had incredible success, has booked, you can imagine, over 22 years how many home parties she has booked, how many sales she has closed, how many people she's been able to bring into the business. And she's heard every concern and objection that there possibly is. And so she comes to the table with so much knowledge, and it will really offer to our team some great value, incredible value. So glad that she is participating in our training tonight. She's actually, believe it or not, she's out doing a party tonight, so she's not able to be on the call, but we recorded a few of these sessions, and hopefully we'll be able to get that to work. So let's do a couple quick announcements. I wanted to remind us of convention. Never, ever miss a convention. I realize there'll be some random, or some real rare, I should say, events that sometimes happen in our lives that prevent us from attending these events. But as I've been in this industry for many years, my business, my enthusiasm, my vision has often been created at these conventions. It's really tough to stretch your own mind, I have found, right? We can dream, we can try to envision from kind of where we've been and where we are now and where we're going, but it can be really tough. And that's why I've loved reading good books that stretch my vision and going to these conventions, being around people that really help you to think bigger than possibly you could think yourself, or at least see things differently. And so I really encourage you. I know we're several months out, but our first annual convention, how exciting is that, by the way? Our historic convention. There's only one time, right, that we're going to have our first convention. I promise you this will be a convention that we talk about 5, 10, 20, maybe even 30, 40 years from now, if we're still alive by then. But anyways, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think I've got a little bit, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but I put on there just some of the general agenda that we have. By the way, this previous screenshot is just in our back office. It's just one of the little flash things that you see. And as you click on that Register Today button, it then takes you to this screen. And this gives you a little bit of an outline at the very bottom right there. You can register. Great discount doing it now as compared to the event. I believe it's about, if I remember right, about $100 discount registering early. So you can see the agenda there. On Thursday night, we'll have registration for 3 hours. We'll do a kind of a VIP reception or our top leader reception. So for those that are invited to that, you'll get a special invitation in the mail, and you'll know if you are coming to that. And then after that, we'll have just a big general session, a party, just a lot of fun from 7 to 9. This is, by the way, where our president, Sean Brown, breaks out the dance moves. Sean loves to dance, and I love to watch Sean dance. So we have a lot of fun, though, taking some good pictures, some great videos, and many bloopers that I'll be able to, some good blooper reels I'll be able to put together over the years. Not from Sean, of course. Not from Sean. He's an incredible dancer. But anyways, that is Thursday night. And then on Friday, we'll have just an all-day session from 8 to pretty much 9 p.m. We'll do a lot of different breaks. We'll have some general sessions. We will roll out our new fall line, new catalogs, and our Mialisia store is always open, so you'll be able to be the first ones to see the line. And we have incredible discounts, by the way, that you just don't get throughout the year. So those that attend only will be able to receive some really cool coupons. So great opportunity to stock up and to place some orders while you're there. And then Saturday, kind of the same thing. We won't go quite as late into the evening. We'll have some general sessions and a lot of breakout meetings, by the way, on both days that you'll be able to kind of rotate among. We're still kind of deciding, but we'll probably have maybe 6 to 8 different classes that are 30 to 40 minutes each, and you'll be able to see from a list of things and really kind of focus on the things that you really need and want to learn in your business, areas that you feel that can be strengthened, and hear from some of our top leaders who aren't just guessing how to do this, but truly know and are having, have had years and years of experience with it. So that is convention. Excited for that, and encourage you to register. Next, really quick announcement, then we'll hop into our designer spotlight. Our Elite Retreat. Finally, we're able to roll that out today. Hopefully some of you saw it on the Facebook page, but this is our first ever designer contest or trip. So you can see the qualifications on the screen there. There's several different ways to qualify. This has actually was rolled out in January for U.S. designers. It started back in February 1st, and so you can see there from February 1st through July 31st, the typical way, the first way that you can earn it, whether it was 30 recruits, so getting 5 personal level 1s brought into the business. So over that 6 month, that would be 30 recruits, would get you an all-expense paid trip to this retreat that will be in Park City, Utah, up in the incredible, beautiful mountains that where the Olympics were. And it's, for those of you who have not been there, it is a incredible experience. It's absolutely gorgeous, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. We won't really do a lot of train stuff. More than anything, we just want to rub shoulders with each other, and we'll probably share some ideas, but more than anything, we're just going to have a lot of fun. We'll do some really cool things, by the way, for those who win the contest. Well, actually, let me come back to that in a second. So there's different tiers, right? If you do 4 recruits a month or get 24 over those 6-month period, you then can still qualify for the trip. Just airfare would not be included. Everything else would be included. You just need to get yourself to the location. And then you can see there 18 recruits. You'd get some still invited to the event. You'd get some really cool Mialisia luggage and be able to attend everything there. You can also get it by hitting the Elite Designer rank qualification twice during that period, or any rank above Elite at least just one time. So, as if we haven't confused you already, there's one extra little thing which is wonderful, especially for those in Canada, that we just really kind of decided and rolled out here. And that is from May 1st. So just we'll backdate it to the 1st of this month through July 31st. You're only required to hit the volume minimums for an elite designer, which is 500 in points personal volume, and then 10,000 in team volume. So, again, no matter where you're at in the business, if you don't even have your kit yet, if you're in a province that's not even open, this contest is still possible. And what we're doing to kind of make up for some of the time is any new team member that you personally enroll will count double for these next 3 months. Okay, so for example, 30 recruits would normally be what you need to do to get the all expense paid trip, but for the next 3 months, if you just got 15, so 5 people a month, that you would get double credit, and that would qualify you with those 15 recruits over the 3 months. So really, really exciting. Keep in mind, if you accomplish it during the bonus months just on production, we're just talking about one of those 3 months, okay, whether that's May, June, or July, that you do 500 in personal volume and your team does 10,000 in team volume, okay? So really, really doable. And if you hit it, let's say in May your team, you earn it, and if you hit it the following month and or even the following month, we're not going to announce anything quite yet, but we're going to do some really fun things as kind of an extra. We don't want to penalize you for winning the contest over and over. So there'll be some really cool things, whether it's a gift certificate or doing some shopping with Annelise, or some great stores and outlets there, and something like that, or maybe going into the spa, with Annelise for half a day, things like that. But nonetheless, there's some incredible things for the contest. So let's go ahead and do this. Before I jump into Designer Spotlight, let's just see if we have any questions out there. If anybody has questions on whether it's convention or the elite retreat, if you'll just hit *6, and that'll unmute you, and just come on and ask a question, and we'll answer that. And we'll just wait here about 10 seconds, and if nobody has any questions, we'll go ahead and move forward with our spotlight. So any questions at all on those 2 items, or any other housekeeping items? All right. We're trying to communicate as often as we can between our Facebook page and Ariane's Facebook page and our home office official designer page. Hopefully you're able to really get plugged in and keep up to date with all the other things. I know Canada's having a few issues with some of the back offices and ordering. So for those who haven't seen a lot of those updates, just make sure you're calling in support, and we'll make sure we kind of walk you through that process, and even if it's taking some phone orders. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and jump into our designer spotlight. Tonight we've got our incredible, one of our big leaders, one of our largest teams who has really been just on fire. I love not only these leaders, but each person on their team. I've had the chance to meet almost all of them, and such terrific and wonderful women. So tonight we've got our twin sisters. I love twins. For those of you who don't know, I have a twin brother. He lives in England. So, and he actually is, he's enrolled in the business, him and his wife, but of course aren't doing anything quite yet until we launch the UK, maybe sometime in the beginning of next year. So we got the twin sisters. Jenny is actually not with us tonight, but her ventriloquist is here, and Karen. And Karen, if you were out there, if you will go ahead and hit *6 and go ahead and take a few minutes. For those of you that are new to our team, the designer spotlight, we just typically have 1 or 2 designers that'll take a few minutes and just kind of tell us a bit more about themselves, and then share a Mialisia experience or 2. But we really want to kind of get to know each one of you as best we can personally. So I encouraged Karen to kind of tell us about her family and her hobbies and things that she likes to do. So Karen, are you out there? All right, let me go back to the screen here, and let's see if I need to unmute her.
Hi.
Right.
Can you hear?
I can hear you.
For some reason, it wouldn't unmute me.
I must have had a hard mute on there. I apologize. The time is all yours,
okay.
Karen. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's okay. I guess I'll introduce both Jenny and I am living in California right now in Valencia, the Santa Clarita Valley, and we have an awesome team out here that we love, and we all love throwing parties in our community. We've had a really great time with that. Jenny, my sister, is out in Arizona, and her designers are doing awesome. My sister is on fire, and I'll share one of her experiences later. But our family, we love sports. We got involved in Mialisia through my husband. He's friends with Dave and Sean, and it took him a couple days to convince me of joining the company because I didn't really know what it was all about. I thought it was just another jewelry company. But when I found out about the concept, I was totally interested, and I've really loved it ever since. So we've had a lot of great things happen since for the last year. And let's see what else. We love the warm weather. We're enjoying the beach now. We just moved from Chicago last year, so we're excited to be away from the freezing cold weather and back in the warm weather. My sister in Arizona loves anything outdoorsy, camping, snowboarding. Her boys are in sports as well, and her husband's an avid hunter, so they like outdoorsy stuff. But it was funny, her and I, about 6 months before we joined Mialisia, or heard about Mialisia during pre-launch, we had been talking about starting some kind of business together. And we're like, it'd be so fun to do some kind of twin type jewelry where jewelry for twin sisters or best friends or multiples and bridesmaids, stuff like that. And we're like, but it always takes so much to start up a company, and we're already 38, and how do we start this and everything? And so we had just been kind of sitting on that for a few months, and then when we realized what the concept was of Mialisia, we're like, oh my gosh, this would totally work, and we don't even have to come up with the idea. Someone already did it for us. Annelise did it for us. So we were really excited to just jump in and join and start spreading the word, and so we've had a lot of fun experiences with that already. I'm just going to read something that my sister posted on Team Magic, I think yesterday, just so that I don't mix up the story. But hang on a second while I put my phone on the Facebook page. Okay, so she wrote, okay, Mialisia family, sorry this is lengthy, but I'm cracking up right now. Have to share this story. I just did my first $1,000 party, well, $954, with one order coming tomorrow. However, most of the orders came from a stop and share I did today. Here are the details. I went to one of my hostesses' guest home, who I had never met before. Turns out she had invited her adult daughters over to surprise them to shop for Mother's Day gifts for themselves. I had no clue they were coming. The daughters showed up and were super annoyed and mad at their mom at first. Awkward, until I showed them the concept, and then they all went nuts buying tons of jewelry. I totally lucked out, and so did my original hostess. I was super nervous at first, though, because one daughter was fuming. I was thinking, what the heck? I have no clue what's going on right now. Turns out that daughter was the one who loved our jewelry the most. She totally apologized, picked out over $100 worth of jewelry, has a huge wish list, and in addition, bought more items for herself for Mother's Day from her husband. So funny. They thought it was going to be a dumb jewelry party and were super annoyed they'd have to sit through something lame, but they were totally sold on Mialisia. All we did was play with the jewelry, and they loved it. Sorry, there was a motorcycle going by. They totally loved it because I let their little boys help me clean up. One boy, about 5 years old, said, Mama, could you please buy me this gold chain for Christmas? And then when I open it up, I can treasure it up. All 4 little boys were obsessed. They kept picking out their favorites, asking their moms to buy it for them like they were Legos. They were hooking things together. I know it wasn't ideal, but it was such a small group, it didn't bother me. They were very careful. So anyway, I love stories like that. I thought it was really funny. We laughed all night, and I just think that being able to like roll with what's going on, and I think people are so interested in the concept that it kind of dissipates that like weird salesy part of it, because once people see the jewelry that we have, it just becomes natural, and people just see that you're excited and that you're not, you're there to help them instead of just sell them something. And I thought it was cool that she got their kids involved and let it just flow natural. So congratulations to her, because she's great at it and she's doing awesome. And that's it. That's our story.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love the Nickel twins and Karen Madsen. Appreciate your time doing that. You shared some really cool stuff. I loved you brought up the wish list. I will say that that's one concept that really intrigued me as a guy, right? I'm a kind of a fish out of water. I'm a guy in a woman's industry of home parties, nonetheless jewelry, of which I wear none of that. And, when I saw this opportunity and talked to Sean about it, for me, it really was a no-brainer. I really was skeptical a little bit, but see, I had known Sean and Annelise for many years, and so I kind of went through part of this journey with them before we launched Mialisia with the prior company, and so I knew of their success. My wife especially, did several trade shows with Annelise with our former company, and one particular I went with her to, which was out in Seattle, Washington, and you mentioned something, Karen, about not feeling salesy and whatnot. And I experienced that when I went out there and saw, that this trade show, gosh, there was probably, 10 or 15,000 women and probably 10 other jewelry companies there, many of which happened to be in the same aisle that we were in. And at first I thought, oh, darn. But what I witnessed over this, 2 or 3 days was how we really truly have such a competitive edge, being so unique, so refreshing as women walk by. At first it may appear that, hey, this is just another jewelry company, but as they can kind of see, what was different about us, whether it was something that we were wearing, we usually would put out a little, laptop or a screen that would kind of loop, and it would kind of show the different ways to wear jewelry, and that caught a lot of attention, by the way. We loved doing that. But it was so refreshing for these women to see a new concept. Right? When's the last time a new concept was introduced in jewelry? So I love seeing that. My wife would tell you that she doesn't really enjoy sales, although she's great at it. At the end of the first day of that trade show, she said, I said, well, what did you think? And she said, what, I never really felt like I was a saleswoman. I just felt like I was a teacher. I felt like I was a designer. I was teaching a concept and then helping women pull out of themselves their own creativity, which women, I think, just innately have for the most part. And she said it was so fun. I didn't have to say, look, here's the 5 pieces of jewelry that I hope you buy, right? I could take the time and say, what do you like? What's your style? And we could mix and match, and it was so neat to see that, even as a guy. So that was one thing that you talked about that brought that to my attention. And the last thing really quick before we jump into Louise's training is this wish list. That is something that really intrigued me as a guy. So here was my thinking, right? When my wife and I first started to do this business, we thought, all right, she's obviously going to go out and do the home parties, and I'm going to do more of the business side, more of the social media and some of the training and things like that. And I won't go into the reasons why, but went through some personal things, and my wife got sick and was not able to do the business or to really do anything, unfortunately. So we kind of had things a little bit different, a different view. But our idea was that she would go out, to these fashion events, and at these fashion events there would be, 5 to 10 women, and of course you're going to have some great sales there. You're going to find designers. You're going to book a lot of things. But we started thinking, gosh, if each and every woman or designer at these events would make sure from their guests that they got their husband's email address and also the guest's birth date and anniversary date. So there's 5 big, I think, events in the year that people often consider jewelry, and which happens to be the #1 most purchased gift in the world, by the way. And those 5 dates would be what? Your birthday, your anniversary, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, and Christmas. And so the thinking was, if you just got each guest wish list, right? They're not going to buy every single piece that they fall in love with that night. They're going to get several pieces. Some get more, some get less. But if you have them write down on whatever form that you gather their information on, and just have them jot down a wish list, and just let them know at the very beginning, hey, you're going to fall in love with the things that we talk about tonight in some of this jewelry. Most of you probably aren't going to buy everything that you see, but if there's certain items that we come across that really kind of catch your eye, regardless of whether or not you're going to purchase those tonight, just jot them down on this list, this little wish list. We got wish list cards in our back office, or you can make your own, and just write down the pieces that you want. And I am going to do you a favor and explain to them what I would like to do is I will contact your husband, let's say 2 weeks out before these 5 major events. And I am going to make their shopping easier. I will tell you, as a guy who is clueless, right, even after 17 years of marriage, still totally clueless on what to buy my wife each and every year. And usually when I do get something, although she doesn't tell me, I know I sometimes screw up and get the wrong thing. But if you were to call me, so if Karen Matson were to call me up and say, hey, Dave, your wife came to one of my fashion events, maybe a month or 2 ago, and she absolutely fell in love with this jewelry. However, she wasn't able to get a lot of the jewelry that night, so we just had her write down a wish list. And I know you've got an anniversary coming up, or I know Valentine's is coming up, or I know, so-and-so, something's coming up. And instead of going out, running all over town, wondering what you're going to get, or if you're like my husband who waits till the last minute, I want to make your shopping easier. And she gave me a list, and what I'd like to do is I can send that to you, and that way you don't have to run around. We can get it ordered. It'll be shipped typically in 2 or 3 days. You'll get it in plenty of time. I can even include a little gift, package with it that you can put it in, and you have the peace of mind to know that you are getting her exactly what she wanted. I am telling you, as a guy, I'd sign me up. I would do that all day long. So, be thinking about that as you're doing your fashion events, that it's not just about the sales that you get at that event. It's not just about your outside orders before the event and after the event. It's not just about that customer that you get, that they could, if you work it right, could be a customer for life and make, as they gather these new collections of jewelry, this brand new line, you can have sales for years and years and years to come from the same person. So, and then outside of that, tap it into the guys out there, boyfriends, husbands, whatever. There really is so many opportunities. It's really exciting. So, all right, thank you, Karen, again for sharing that. Let's go ahead and jump into our training. I'm hoping this works. I've done this before. We're going to go ahead and I'm doing it a little bit different because it's going to be a broadcast. So give me just 1 second here, and I'm going to hope this works. All right, so let's see. Our first thing is we're going to talk about some booking scripts. So here's just some ideas of things that Louise has done that's worked really well.
Hi, this is Louise Adrian. I'm going to talk to you about a booking script. And some people need a script and some don't. So if you are just great and you're having amazing success doing what you're doing, keep on doing what you're doing if it's working. If it's not working, you may want to have some sort of a script. So I'm just going to read a simple script here, and I've sort of made it my June booking script, but this will be for every single month. So I'm just going to kind of read it out, and then I'm sure Dave's going to be able to send this out to you in a hard copy. So it would be something like, hi, Natalie, it's Louise from Mialisia calling, and I'm calling you tonight because we have got some great things going on for June, and I just had to call you and fill you in. Do you have a sec? And she's going to go, yes. And I'm going to go, great. Well, this June, Mialisia is featuring, and again, I don't know what it is, so we're just going to leave a blank there. You're going to fill that in. Plus, for guests, we have a fabulous offer of blank, because again, you're going to fill that in. And I'm just dying to try out our new happy hour theme party. The great thing about these fun parties are they're quick, I'm in and out in an hour. All you need is a signature cocktail or a mocktail, a few friends for a casual get-together, and it can be anywhere, anytime. We can do it at your place. We can do it in your backyard. We can do it on your deck. We can just get together at a restaurant or a Starbucks, or I can pop in at your work on a lunch hour. This is a great time of year to be doing a happy hour with summer coming. It's just so fun. The best part is that we are giving hosts in June so much free jewelry. I would love for you to try this quick, fun summer theme party. I'm going to sweeten the deal a little bit by offering you a $30 extra credit by picking a date with me today. Isn't that great? So, Natalie, is there any reason why we couldn't get together for a girls' night in this month and I can spoil you with tons of free jewelry? If the answer is no, great. My next available date is, and then you're going to give her your next available date. Just remember, whatever the 2 or 3 dates you give, they usually pick the third one. The third date you say, which is usually the furthest out, so pick the dates and in a tight time frame. If she says, I'm too busy, my house is too small, no one will come, I don't have any friends, you would say something like, Natalie, I totally understand, but because these host specials are some of the best we have ever had and happy hours are so convenient, I'm having my own happy hour party. Perhaps you and a friend might like to check one of these parties out. You can pop by my party on blank, whatever the date is, from 7 to 8, and I'm even giving everyone who drops by with a friend that I've never met before free shipping. And again, you would pay the cost of that, being the designer. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to ask you, do you know anyone that could use some extra income right now or has ever thought of giving Mialisia a try? Since this is new to Canada and the U.S., it's a huge opportunity, ground floor, and such a unique, fun jewelry line. So as you're positioning this and saying this, obviously you want to have your own date on your calendar every single month for your own party. Therefore, if someone says they're interested in seeing your jewelry or they don't want to have a party right now because they're too busy, you always have that opportunity to flip them into attending a party that you're having to see the jewelry. And guess what? When they come, they get excited about the product. Many, many, many times they're going to want to book their own party. So if you need a script, here's a script for you. Have fun. Happy hour parties in the summer are fun. They're light. They're quick. An hour in and out. You just take a smaller amount of jewelry with you and have some fun with it. So have fun with your happy hours this summer. Take care. Hi, this is Louise Adrian, and tonight I'm going to talk to you about opening and closing your parties. And the way that I open my parties is as the guests are arriving, I make sure that I personally go up and greet each guest individually. Therefore, I'm building my rapport even before we've started the party. You want the guests to engage with the jewelry right away, so lead them over the table, let them start playing with it and making some different groupings and sets for themselves, and let them be doing that while you're greeting everybody else. When I'm opening my party, I like to go around the room and get everyone to introduce themselves and tell me how they know the host. A couple of reasons I like to do that. First of all, it lets me know how they know the host from different areas of their life. So, for example, if they're all family members, usually you're only going to end up with one booking. So I want to know if they're from different walks of life. So let's say, for example, one is a family member, one is a coworker, and one is a neighbor. I have 3 opportunities for bookings because they're from 3 different circles. The other thing I like to know is what they do for work. So if they work outside the home and they say we know each other for work, I'm like, oh my gosh, where do you work? Get the conversation going that way. If they work in an office or a bank or some sort of place where there's multiple people working, that's another great opportunity for me to talk to that person about booking a party because they know lots of women and they could even do a book party, or I could go and do a lunch hour party. So opening the party is great for me just to kind of get to know the feel of the room, who's in the room before I start into my actual presentation. So now let's talk about closing the party. So one thing that I love to say at the end of my parties is I know you've all fallen in love with tons of pieces tonight. You have 3 options this evening. Number 1, you can purchase full price. You can get the great guest offers that we've got going on when you buy, whatever it is, you're going to plug that into whatever the guest special is the month. So you've got the great guest offers that we've got going on tonight, and I know you've fallen in love with this jewelry line. Number 2, you can book a party and go on a Mialisia shopping spree. Most of my hosts gets about $150 to $200 for free, plus, of course, extra half-price item offers. Now, I know you're going to fall in love with the deals for, and then insert whatever month that is. So let's say right now we're in May, so I know you're going to fall in love with lots of the deals we've got for June. So I would love to pick your date today so that you make sure you've got a date already booked and you're in the calendar, because my dates are going so quick. And number 3, you can open up a Mialisia account and have all the jewelry a girl ever wanted. Plus, you can make money, be one of the first in Canada and the States to show this line to your friends and family, and I would love to get you some information on this. So let me recap that. Full price, free by having a party, and third one is opening up an account. So then I go around the room and I get them to ask me a question about my business and tell me what their favorite piece was. So the reason that you want to do this is if they don't buy what they say they loved, then usually that is a money issue, which is a perfect opportunity to book or sponsor them. Now, what questions might they ask you? And I have to tell you, I've been doing this close for about 12 years, and it does not fail me. I do it at every party, whether I see them every 6 weeks or every other month. This is just something that I do. So questions they might ask you would be, how much does it cost to start? And all of these answers you're going to give should be no more than about 30 seconds, because you're just throwing teasers out there. So how much does it cost to start? We have 3 kits. There's something for everybody's budget to start a business. How much money can you make? Roughly, you'd be making about $50 to $75 per hour. What's the warranty on the product? You probably had already mentioned this in your demonstration, but a lot of people forget. So you're probably going to have somebody answer that. And, of course, we know it's a lifetime warranty. Someone will probably ask you what you love the most about Mialisia, and you're going to say, I love, and then fill in the blank. Whatever it is you love about your business, it's got to come from the heart. Where is the jewelry made? Lots of people have concerns over where home party products are made. And so my answer to that is the jewelry is made in lots of locations, and Mialisia takes pride in the factories that make our product as ethical employers. That is a great line to use. One question they may ask you is, how long does it take to get your order? You probably said that again, but you're going to get some of these things that people may have forgotten during your presentation. They may ask you different perks, if you've ever earned any promotions, things like that. But usually the questions are very, very simple. You know, what's your favorite item, where the jewelry is made, things like that. These basically are the main types of questions you're going to be asked. But what this does, it's a Q&A. And without you standing there going, Mialisia is this and Mialisia is that and blah, 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 and you're preaching at them, this gives them the opportunity to ask you the questions. So it seems like their questions are completely from them and unique, and you're answering those questions, piquing other people's curiosity in the room. At the same time, it's booking seeds and sponsoring seeds that are getting out there, and that's really what you want. And I find that the ask me a question about my business at the end is incredibly, incredibly powerful. So another thing that you might want to do is give them a 2-sided, you know, those split door prize tickets, those ones that perforate apart, and do a little draw in the end for them asking you a question about your business. You could even give shipping or just a small gift of one of the more inexpensive pairs of earrings. So giving a door prize ticket often gets a lot more participation. Once you become familiar at it, you may not even want to do the door prize ticket. I don't do it anymore, but until you sort of get the feel of it, you may want to do a door prize ticket. So when you're at your parties, you want to always remember these things. What are you selling? The number one thing you're selling at your parties is the opportunity. So opportunity first, booking second, and sales are third. If you're always romancing your product, you're always going to have high party sales anyways. And when you have high party sales, of course, you're making lots of money and your host is getting lots of free product. So focus on those style kits. The way the catalog is laid out is fantastic, showing the groupings It's one of those things where if somebody doesn't know how to accessorize, it's all done for them in the style kit. And then when there's extra offers, it enables them to add to things. And, 4 pieces of jewelry that they're going to be able to go home with or, get shipped out to them is going to create many, many outfits. And the way that you want to look at Mialisia is it's a collectible. They are starting their collection. Since there's so few people in Canada and U.S. selling the product, this is the beginning of a collectible line. Years from now, people are going to treasure the pieces that they've already purchased, and then they're going to want to add to them on a regular basis. They're going to be so excited to be able to be invited to multiple parties so they can come and finish off their collections. So that is how I open and close my parties. I hope it helps you out, and have a fantastic day.
Louise is awesome. I can't even write fast enough, right? Such great stuff. When you understand that Louise has been for years and years the #1 producer in a huge home party company. Again, not the number 5, not the number 10, not the number 20, the #1 producer. She is a machine. I think she said last year she did like 140 parties that year. In fact, she did so many bookings that she had to give up like 40 or 50 to her team, because she would have nights where she just had 3 or 4 parties booked in the same night. She's already booking her schedule for June, and started that I think a week ago. So so excited to have her. She's really going to add so much to our businesses and strengthen all of us as we hopefully strengthen each other too. So, all right. Well, hey, we just have a couple minutes left, and I know nobody could wrap up this meeting better than this next guest speaker, if I can even call her that. I just got a text on my phone from our awesome and wonderful founder and CEO, Annelise Brown, who just hopped on and wanted to say hi to you all. So let me go ahead and unmute her, or Annelise, if you hit *6, you should be able to do that. And I'll let her just kind of wrap up the call, and when she's done, we'll go ahead and stop the meeting. But thank you, everyone, for being on tonight. I hope that was great training, and we really implement that in our businesses. So, Annelise, are you out there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yay, can hear you great. Thank you so much. By the way, everybody,
Yay.
Annelise has an opportunity meeting right now as we speak, and so she kind of just slipped out, so she won't be with us very long. But thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dave. Isn't Dave fabulous? You guys just love him. He's the best. I'm so grateful to have him and his beautiful wife, Trish, with us. I'll just be 30 seconds, but I just want to tell you all how much we love you and appreciate all that you're doing. I know I say that, but I truly, truly mean it. We think about you constantly, and we are working so hard to improve things and make things as easy as possible for you guys to be successful. And so I just want you guys to know that. And I feel, just so passionate about reminding everyone of their worth. And, we want you to know that you are valued. I don't know if you guys were able to get on our Power Hour this week on Monday, but, I talked a lot about being able to recognize your worth and stopping and just thinking about the qualities that you have and the talents that you have been blessed with. And really just try so hard to focus on those things, because, what you focus on expands, and when you do those things that you're good at, it feels good. And when you feel good, you're motivated to do good. And so that's always, my #1 message that I love to share, is that just love yourself so that you can love others. And it's the whole, people love people and love to be around people that are happy and that care about other people, and you will be successful because of that. We just love you guys and are so grateful for all that you do, and thank you for being on the call and being plugged in. It's so important that you guys stay plugged into your leaders, because they will give you the confidence that you need and the support that you need. I think that, we all need those pep talks on a regular basis. We were just talking about that in this meeting, in fact, that, we all just need that on a regular basis. We need to be pumped up. It's easy to get discouraged and to be deflated, and
And the more plugged in you are, the more you're going to get that, because your leaders care about your success, and they care about you and your life and who you are, and they want you to be happy, and they want you to have the support and the confidence that you need. So they're going to be there to build you up and push you along. So but if you're not plugged in, it makes it really hard for them to do that. So do that. If you'll stay plugged in and you'll just be consistent with that, then you're going to have the tools and the support that you need to be successful. So there it is. I hope that you guys are all working towards our elite retreat, which is going to be in September, the last weekend of September. I think we finally nailed it down today. And so it's going to be fabulous. We laid out all of the plans for it. It's going to be an incredible weekend. So please work hard for that and make sure that you come to convention. It is going to be so exciting. It really is going to be a historic event. This is our first annual convention. I mean, this is going to be an event that's going to go down in history for Mialisia, and I want you all to be there. Again, it will give you so much information and so many tools, and just being able to meet the people in this company. We have incredible people in this company, and I want you to be able to meet them and to learn from them and to be able to, build those relationships. So make sure to do that too. So, okay, I won't keep you guys all night, but I love you, and thank you for letting me get on and say hi. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful night, and we'll talk soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Annelise. Thanks, everyone, for hopping on. And what a wonderful CEO, founder, even more than that. What a wonderful woman that Annelise is. I've known her for many years, and you will get to know she is as genuine as they come. And you don't find that often in the executive leadership of many companies. So it's just wonderful to have someone at the helm, at the top of our company who has incredible integrity and care and passion for each one of you. So thank you to her, and thank you to each one of you. I appreciate you so much. I don't care if you've got a team of 30 or if you're a brand new designer that just enrolled, a little scared, and this is maybe a new venture for you. And I just want you to know that I love you and I appreciate you, and recognize your efforts, however big, however small. And thank you so much for your faith and trust and excitement in this journey that we're just getting underway. All right, have a great night. We'll see ya.